Okay, so today is Tuesday, January 18th. I have been on liquid diet for 8 days. And yesterday, Monday, I had my pre-op testing. Pre-op testing really consists of going to the hospital, talking to a nurse, having some blood work done. You also receive this breathing apparatus that I will put a picture on the blog later of. It's very interesting, and you use it to help you, keep you from getting pneumonia later. So I got that, and I had some blood work done. I talked to the anesthesiologist about what was going to happen. They ask you a lot of questions. There's a lot of paperwork. And at the very beginning of this test, they ask you to give a urine sample. So no big deal, whatever. Everybody gives a urine sample. You do it all the time since you were little. So okay, not a big deal. Today, this morning at about 8 a.m., I received a phone call from my PCP, my primary care physician, asking me to come in and take a urine culture. Apparently, I had some bacteria in my urine. Now, without giving me any other information than that, I kind of freaked out. I immediately jumped online. I started doing some research to see what that meant, and I came back with 3 real options. Either 1, I had a UTI, or a urinary tract infection. 2, I had a bladder infection, which is a little bit worse. Or 3, the worst case scenario, I had a kidney infection. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had no symptoms of anything other than what I thought was a yeast infection for a little while, which I am treating, not a big deal. But now I'm worried. They won't do surgeries if you have these infections. My surgery's not even a week away. I'm 5 days out. Oh my goodness. I can't have the surgery canceled now. What if they cancel it and then they schedule me for another 2 weeks? 2 more weeks of liquid is going to be hell. I don't want to do it if I'm going to be pre-op again. So I freaked out. I freaked out a lot. And I went to work still freaking out. Fast forward a little bit to lunchtime. A very kind member asked if we could have a lunch meeting today, and I had declined her offer to go to the local Chinese buffet, which is amazing, and meet her there for all I could eat Chinese food with her paying, because that is kind of the ideal situation. Could have asked me about that 2 months ago. But instead, she brought me back some wonton soup. She brought it back to the studio, and we sat around and we chatted, and then I ate later. The intention of the wonton soup was that I was going to either A, take the wontons out and then just eat the broth, or B, blend up all of the wontons in the soup and drink it much like a protein shake, hoping that it would break down the wontons enough that I could eat them without really chewing, I guess. Well, I go into the kitchen after the meeting is over, and I open the container of soup, and I was thinking to myself, I'm going to blend this up. So I put my spoon in there, take the wontons out, and put them in the blender. And I took a wonton out, and I put it in my mouth, and I began to chew. Old habits die hard. So, yeah, I ate a wonton today. I can tell you it tasted really good, but not nearly as good as the guilt I felt all day afterwards. I was kind of freaking out. I have somebody here. My partner is actually also going through the liquid diet with me, and has not going to have gastric bypass surgery, and she has been amazing at only eating what I can eat and drinking what I can eat. And so the idea that I had cheated her was really, really hard for me. Again, I thought about this urinary issue, these bacteria in my urine, and I said, well then, if they have to postpone my surgery, it's not a big deal. It'll be fine. I don't care. But it turns out that they probably won't have to cancel my surgery. After all of this happened, I picked up Alex and I told her, and we went to the support group meeting. Now, I don't know about your surgeon, but my surgeon has a monthly support group. It happens the second Tuesday of every month at a center near Winchester Hospital, which is where I'm having the surgery done, called the Jenks Center. And we go, and if you're pre-op or post-op, you go, no matter how far out or how far before you are, just to get some support and some information and to hear some real-life stories. So on this particular occasion, I go, and Louise, who is his nurse, and she is phenomenal, is always at the front desk, so you can sign in. So I signed in, and I mentioned the issue I had with my urine test. And she said, honestly, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. We'll give you some antibiotics. It'll clear up the infection. You'll be good to go. So immediately I feel more guilty because there's no way my surgery is going to get postponed. I've eaten a wonton, which isn't the end of the world, but to me right now, at this stage of my process, it really is, because it's just one more temptation that I don't need to start from day one again. If I was an alcoholic and I had a drink, it would be day one, not day 8. Same idea in reality. So, okay, I feel great that I can still have surgery, but now I'm kind of panicking. What will this wonton do? Will it gunk up the system so much that surgery is going to be more difficult? I don't know these things. I don't know much about the surgery process. I just know how they do it. I don't know what will mess it up. Regardless, at the meeting, I meet somebody who's sitting next to me who's having surgery on the same day. My surgery is at 6 a.m. Well, no, I lie. I have to go into the hospital at 6 a.m. My surgery will begin at 7:30 a.m. Apparently, this woman is coming into the hospital at 8:30 a.m. and her surgery will begin at 10 a.m. So she is immediately after me, which was reassuring to know that somebody else was going through exactly what I was going through at that exact moment. And it was happenstance that she was sitting right next to me this day. And we talked for a while, we exchanged emails. And if you look, hi, it was nice to meet you today. I gave her the blog, obviously. And so we talked, and then the support group started. I cannot stress to everybody enough how much of a help the support group was to me today. I was really freaking out a lot, totally having second thoughts. I called my friends who have had the surgery and said, do I need to do this? Why can't I just quit and not do it? I don't want to do it anymore. I can just be on liquids forever. I'll be fine. So I go to the group today, and you meet so many people who are on different stages, who have had different experiences. From, there was one woman who had multiple complications 6 months down the line and still would go through the surgery. And there was one woman who was 8 years out, who had a few minor complications and a handful of surgeries afterwards, who looked amazing and said, this changed my life. This is the best thing I ever did for myself. I don't miss anything. So, I guess really the summary of all of this today was, if you're freaking out, it's normal. If you're not freaking out, is normal too, I guess. But if you're really freaking out like I am, and the nerves are starting to get the better of you, talk to your doctor or your nurses or somebody you know who had the surgery, and just reassure yourself that in the end it's all worth it. Because you can talk yourself out of this really quickly and have wasted all of this time and all of this money and all of this energy on something that would have been really good for you that you don't follow through with. Or you can spend all the time and the energy and all of that and still go through the surgery and hopefully have everything go fantastically. So I guess that's really my blog today. It's been interesting. I'm really appreciating that everybody's looking at this and checking out the blog and participating with me and interacting with me via the blog. Please keep doing that. I've had an outcry of supporters that I love, and if you know somebody who doesn't know me but needs some support, please refer them to this blog. Hopefully it will help them a little bit, because it's really helping me just getting it out there. I also posted a little bit of information on the blog about, I think it's gastricbypasstruths.com. This woman does a blog that's amazing with a lot of medical facts and news stories that happen around gastric bypass, and I'm not going to do a lot of that, so I would love you all to look at that website and check out what she's writing about to learn a little bit more about the factual and a little bit less about just my story. She does have her story up there too, which is inspiring. And I guess, really, I will see you in a few days, and thank you so much for your support. Bye.